Well, Shaka, a signed peace agreement usually signals an end to a conflict. Yet, in recent years and months, we have witnessed the key parties involved in African conflicts sign peace agreements for tactical reasons without being genuinely committed to the peace process. That has made many political observers say that kind of ceasefire is only temporary and violence is likely to resume. With all that said, we put our own question to our audience asking, are there any specific mechanism that could guarantee that once a peace deal is reached, it must be implemented and enforced no matter what? Well, let's begin with a comment from Akera Kitara from Torit in Sudan, who writes, African leaders and citizens are deeply divided on points of interest. Too many peacemaking is only a commercial business. However, peace can be resolved with leaders of integrity who unify people for the common goal of peace. Well, another comment comes from Simwana Said in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, who says, it solely depends on the parties' commitment to the deal and the ability to implement and enforce it. Shaka, what do you think?
Terrific. Gabino, why don't you weigh in? Do you really think that those things are possible unless the ordinary African is going to step up to the plate? And he can only do that if he or she is socially aware that he or she is a citizen who owes her allegiance to the state, and the state is him or her, and not a subject, frankly, in the manner in which most Africans are treated by their rulers.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Shaka. And then I said this before here. The problem is investing and raising men and women of integrity in Africa, but also men and women that are able to take ownership as stakeholder of the becoming of Africa. When you look at, for instance, Democratic Republic of Congo, some observer once called it a geological abnormality because of the amount of wealth that is there. And
the country that borders with yes. 9 other countries.
Exactly.
It's all over the place. The epicenter action of Africa.
And the same thing also in Central African Republic. But I got to say this to you, Shaka. The ground is shifting under all political actors, whether it be Westerners or Africans, because especially with social media and now information actually being so easily accessible, but also uploadable, okay, by Africans, we are getting things to shift because there's 2 things that any politician cannot do without. It's money and public opinion. In Central African Republic, and I can tell you there's a tremendous amount of work.
Matter in the Central African Republic, really?
Well, we've made our opinion heard somewhat, and there's a report coming up by Vice News, which is incredible work that they're doing there, where the average Central African actually sees it, what the political so-called leaders are still missing, and it's there. So and our friends, they'll say it again, they're disconnected to the general population, but we are not.